the clocks, once they hit 2 a.m., they will go back to 1 a.m. I would say the overwhelming majority of us will be asleep for that. But again, it is still close to Halloween. I'm sure some of us may be having some festivities. So if you're out late or up very, very early, just keep that in mind. 2 a.m. becomes 1 a.m. So that gives us an extra hour of sleep on Sunday morning. Plan accordingly. Obviously, most of our devices do the trick on their own at this point. But if you may have older appliances, stoves, microwaves, or clocks in general, you'll have to change them before you go to sleep. Now, take this opportunity to do other things around your house. Remember, daylight saving time only starts once and ends once during the year. So we like to say, change your batteries, your smoke alarms, your carbon monoxide detectors. You can clean out those dryer vents. You know, some things around the house that just don't get done all that often, but are very important to do. And last on the list here, flip those mattresses over as well, especially the old spring-y ones. Obviously, a lot of Tempur-Pedic and memory foam and things like that. I don't think you have to do that for those. Sunrise will be at 6:21 on Sunday morning, and it will set at 4:37. Yeah, that's where everybody kind of winces then. A little too early for my liking, and I think most of you out there as well. We got a little bit of rain last night. Can you believe this? It comes as a shock to the system, and these are very unimpressive numbers, but rain nonetheless. The first time in well over 2 weeks across the area, 0.03 of an inch at TF Green. The highest on the list here looks like Boston Logan picking up just shy of 1/4 of an inch. We have been nowhere near 1/4 of an inch in quite a while. There's the front right there, that warm front that brought us that little light rain last night, and it also brought us the warm air, or signaled the arrival of the warm air, the passage of that, allowing all this warm southwest wind to come our way. So a little taste of it today as we dipped into the lower 70s. We're really going to feel it tomorrow. A lot of temperatures out west right now across the Midwest, Mississippi Valley, Ohio Valley are pushing 80 degrees even at this hour. But it is short-lived behind this set of fronts right here, bringing some nice rain. Unfortunately, we're not taking advantage of that nice rain. By the time this reaches us, it's, for lack of a better term, rather pathetic, and we'll probably just see a little bit of light rain on Friday morning here. But it does also signal the arrival of then some chillier areas we head towards the weekend. So as far as the warmest Halloweens, we talked about this before, we are almost assuredly going to be number 2 on the list. A better chance of tying number 1 than somehow not getting the second place here, because look at third place back in 2004, 73, and then we have a 5-way tie for fourth place, 72. The interesting thing about this, I went on my way. I was just going to say 5 tied with 72, but I wanted to show you this. Very interesting to see 3 of those all happening in the decade of the 40s, 42, 45, and 48. And how about this? Then back to number 1, that was in 1946. So almost half the decade of the 40s saw Halloween temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Let's look at some other Halloween superlatives, extremes, if you will, shall we? Hey, thinking 4 years ago, 2020, COVID year, we had a temperature in the morning of 24 degrees. Trick-or-treat time was in the 40s and falling into the 30s. It was not a nice one. We had a rainy one back in 1939 and a trace of snow back in 1925. So some pretty old records there. The warm air, again, goes away. It stays with us on Friday. We have some light rain in the morning, clearing into the afternoon, and then chilly as we head into the first weekend of November. Again, those clocks are going to change, and we will see the temperatures moderating a bit back into the 60s and even close to 70 as we head towards the middle of next week.